Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking all of my Trixie Cosmetics palettes. So I have almost all of their palettes. I have 6 of the big palettes. They've released some like little mini palette, like quads and stuff that I don't have, but I have all of the big palettes and I love them all, but I'm going to try to rank them. Rankings are hard for me, but I'm going to do my best. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I'm a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup, with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup, and I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so this is the 4th video I'm filming today. I did change my lipstick because I had a snack. Before I was wearing a Haus Labs, now I'm wearing Pat McGrath. Everything else is the same. Because when you have limited time and energies, sometimes you gotta batch film. But I am very excited to do this. I like doing rankings, but they are very stressful for me. So I will, off the bat, say I like all of these. None of these have a bad formula. None of these are duds. I like all of them. So what I did was rank them based on color story. That's generally what happens for me, is I rank on color story or how often I use them. So 6 palettes, shouldn't be the longest ranking, but I do like these. I really like Trixie Cosmetics formula. I will talk a little bit about the different formulas as I go through. So they have a standard matte, really nice matte formula. It's pigmented, blends really nicely, builds upon itself, really good. Even like neon shades are really nice. Pastels, so on. And then there's 2 shimmer formulas, 3 shimmer formulas. So there's one that is more of a highlighter topper kind of shade. Wouldn't really recommend putting it all over the lid, but as an inner corner pop or face highlight, really nice. And then there is a standard metallic that can either be more just metallic or sparkly metallic, but really nice metallic formula. And then the third is what they call their glitter formula. And it's not a pressed glitter, it is more than that. It's biodegradable glitter, which is what they talk about, but there is like a base to it. It's like a foiled shimmer and a pressed glitter merged together. So I'll try swatching a little bit. I don't think I'll swatch too much, but I'll swatch a little bit so I can kind of explain that. But I did want to give that a heads up. I really like all of these. They're not cheap, but I think they're really worth it. You get big pans with a lot of eyeshadow. Each one of these is, you know, like 16 grams of product, and they're all made in the US, small, queer-owned brand. I think it's worth supporting them. Plus, I think they're interesting color stories and concepts. Starting the ranking in the 6th place, and I do like this, but I think it's the one I'm gonna grab, the one I grab for the least, although that may change in the summer, and that is the Girl Talk palette. This is their newest palette, and I think the shadows in this are amazing. It's just brights and pastels, so I'm not using them very much right now. So you can see it's a very bright palette. The theme of this was like 90s game slumber party. Like the palette even looks like a game thing. I'll try to see, you can see the little textures there. It's got like a little fake headphone jack right here. Really cute attention to detail. And you can see you get big pans. They're about the same size as their blush palettes, but you can see these aren't tones that I'm grabbing for very often. It does have a kind of dark shade, which I appreciate. They're really great quality. I would say this is one of those more highlightery shades that I was talking about, where you can see it's a little drier looking. And I'll grab, I don't know, this metallic, much creamier. So you can see that difference there. Really nice shadows. So here's that more highlightery shade, still really bright, but a little drier. Kind of an iridescent pink. And then that metallic lime green. Really nice quality. Just grabbing a tissue. This is a pastel. This is like a neon. They still show up on my skin tone, which is rare. Like, I like Natasha Denona's pastel palette because it has cream to powder shades, which work better on my skin tone than a powder pastel. these are better pastels than Natasha Denona. These actually show up without fighting with them or any issues. They're really nice. Like, it's still a pastel, but it's a really nice one. This purple color, really beautiful. But because it is bright pastel shades, I just don't grab it as much as the others. So the next palette is actually the first one I got from them, and I do really love this one. And it is the Bottled Bond palette. So love the idea, love the theme for this one. It has a really nice black and a really nice white, which I appreciate. I really love this blowout in front of these shades here. I really like the top row in here. The reason this is a little bit lower is because I don't grab these pale neutral shades, like pinky neutral and pink shades, very often. The purples in here, great. The shimmers in here, really nice. And I really love this top row. It's just these shades I don't grab very often. This is one of those glitter shades that I mentioned. This is the shade Mauve Mentality. And you can see it's not just a pressed glitter. I'll put this down. It's not just a pressed glitter, but it's drier and flakier. It kind of feels like a baked Pat McGrath shadow, but it's not baked. But you know how some of those are kind of gritty? It kind of has that feel, really sparkly and really textured. And then I'll put it right here. So you can see there's a base there, but it has a lot of that biodegradable glitter in it. So you can see how sparkly it is. So this is like the 3 shimmer formulas. So you've got the more highlightery dry shade, standard metallic, and then this glitter shade. And they look beautiful on the lid, especially with glitter glue, really intensely sparkly. But you can see why I say it's not a pressed glitter. They call it a glitter shade, but because it has a lot of that biodegradable glitter in it, but it still is a shimmer. So highlighter's really popping. So really like that shade a lot. And I like that formula. It's not in every palette, but when it pops up, they're generally really beautiful. Okay, and then the next palette, this is where it started to get hard. I knew those would be lower just because brights or like a couple shades I don't use that often. The next 4 were really hard. Like I just kept going, but I think I just showed one. The next palette is going to be the Team Trixie palette. I really love this palette. This one and the next one were really hard, and I'm still kind of torn on which one should be in this place and which one should be in the next place. But it doesn't matter. In the long run, it's fine. I like them all. And this came out as a collaboration with Katia, who's another drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race. I forgot to mention this in my tag video, the 2022 eyeshadow tag video. One of the questions was best collaborations. I forgot to mention these. Really love this, but you can see again, bright colors. So this has 2 of those glitter shades, so I'll show you one of those. Really beautiful. This is a really great yellow. I really like this bottom row. I don't use Spirit Fingers very often. And this is a nice pastel mint that does show up on me, but this bottom row is really beautiful. Really love these. This like, Trixie does color, but always says that she has to have some neutral shades to ground it. And so these are the neutral shades she picked. And they're like a little bit more mauve-y than pink or neutral brown, and I really love them. And then these 3 colorful shades are gorgeous. But I'll show you, this is another one of those glitter shades. Swatch a little bit more. You can see it's just like a black, but really, you can see all of that sparkle. You can see how it's a little dry. That one's a little more sheer, but you can see that sparkle. So really do like that palette. But you gotta rank them. So the next palette is another collab palette, and really love this one as well. I love them all. I just have to keep saying that because I really love these all. I love all of these, and it was really hard to do this. But this is the Trixie Juno palette. I do know someone commented on one of my videos with this or messaged me that they were having a hard time, like it wasn't performing as well as their other Trixie palettes. I haven't had that issue. I really love it. The reason this didn't rank higher is because this shade, the one shimmer in here is that like dry kind of highlighter-y formula. You can see it's like a pinky champagne. pretty similar to that one, but a little different, a little less pink, a little bit more just champagne. There's like, this has like a violet, like a really bright hot pink to it, and this is more of a subtle pink, but it doesn't really work well on the lid. But this is a good all-in-one, especially if you're lighter than me. You can use these as like maybe a contour or a bronzer. You've got a pink that you could use as a blush, but this ranked the other ones a little bit more because I really love these purples, really love these blues, and then it's got another black and white, and these neutrals are really nice. So really love this palette. I think Juno Birch did a great job. I'm really happy to see her working with Trixie Cosmetics. Okay, so I've got 2 palettes left. Like I said, I only have 6. They just don't have that many palettes. This was really hard. Really hard. I'm still second guessing which one is which. But I think I've decided. So number 2 is going to be the Plant Gay palette. I love this palette so much. I think this is their best themed palette. I think it's adorable. Love the packaging. I got the whole PR box for this. This was one of my first big videos that had like more than 100 views. Really love this palette. The reason the other one outranks it a little bit more is because, again, you've got these bright pinks that I just don't wear very often. I've used them, they're really pretty. This one's like a purple pink and this one's a true pink. This yellow is a really nice pale yellow. This does show up on me. What I love here are these 2 neutrals, really beautiful, kind of cool, but not too cool, like that middle point between like true neutral and cool. And then the greens here are beautiful. Like you've got a true green here, you've got a blue here, and then you've got like a green blue, which on me is just gonna be blue. This green shimmer is really beautiful. This Totally shade. You can see it's a really nice emeraldy shade with a bit of a gold to it. And then you've got 2 more of those glitter shades right here. Really love this palette, really love this. Like these 2 shimmers with this on the lid, great look. I've done that many times. And you can use like the yellow as inner corner. Really love this. Plus the pun names, like Cottage, like Thorny on Me, Totally, Bi, Coastal, Greenhouse. It's punny in the best way, and I really love it. So let's watch that green here. You can see it's an actual emerald that actually pulls pretty emerald on me. Most emeralds end up looking just teal, but this has just the right amount of green that it actually pulls green on me. And that shade and the neutrals in there almost pushed it to number 1, but for number 1, I have to give it to the Team Katia palette. Partly because I think this is the most neutral, but also the most like easy to use, well-rounded palette. So it's a really good also travel palette for that reason. So you've got Katia's picked the colors. It's all of her neutral basic colors that she uses every day, and then her fun pops. So you've got basically Katia's Skatone, which is a nice highlight shade, or you could use it as a transition if you're really pale, which is what she likes it for. You've got like the perfect neutral brown right here. You've got a really great black. You've got a dark brown here that like, you don't even need the black because this is so dark and so nice. You've got a really nice red matte here. Red mattes, it doesn't pull pink. It stays red. Almost dropped that. Really nice. You've got a hot pink. So if you want that pop of pink, I'm a little more inclined to grab like a hot pink than like a pale pink. Really pretty blue or purple shimmer, gold shimmer, bronze shimmer, silver, and then you've got blue. And you know I love blue. This is a really nice blue. This is a really nice blue shimmer. I just think this is like a really good, well-rounded palette. So that's why this one had to be number 1, at least right now. Who knows what I'll think in the future if I do these again. So the red does have to be layered up a little bit. You can see one swatch right there, but very, just like a true red, really like it. Really torn, it was really hard to pick one of these. Tomorrow it could be this number 1 and this number 2. So these are basically tied. especially with this green and those two neutrals. So good. But those are all 6 of my Trixie Cosmetics palettes. I don't have the new quads just because I don't use quads very often, and those were like literally a look in a quad. Adorable. One of them was blue. Really hard to pass up, but I have plenty of blue in my collection, didn't need to buy it. But really love these, really love the formula, really recommend it, especially if they do a sale. I know they did a big Black Friday sale, but if they do other ones, always check out. I think really great formula, really underrated. So those are my rankings. If you have any of these, I'd be interested to know your thoughts, or if you would rank them differently. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.